Have you ever heard that saying, give someone an inch and they'll take a mile? Well, today I want to share a story that really brings this idea to life. It's an old fable, but its message is more relevant today than ever before. It's called The Trees and the Axe, and it's a powerful reminder about the consequences of our choices, especially the small ones. Imagine a vast ancient forest. The trees stand tall and proud, a community that has weathered storms and seasons together for centuries. One day, a woodman walks into this forest. He doesn't come with aggression or threats. Instead, he approaches the trees with a seemingly humble request. He holds up his heavy axe head and says, "Oh, great trees, I only ask for a small favor. Could you spare a single piece of wood, just enough to make a handle for my axe? It's all I need." The largest and most respected trees in the forest, the oaks and the cedars, they look at each other. They consider his request. A handle? That's nothing. They have so much wood to spare. What harm could one tiny piece do? It seems like such a modest, reasonable thing to ask for. So they agree. Of course, they say. Take that young ash sapling over there. It's small and won't be missed. The woodman thanks them profusely, his face showing nothing but gratitude. He takes the young ash sapling and with skilled hands he carves it into a sturdy, perfect handle. He fits it tightly into the head of his axe. And now the tool is complete. It's strong, balanced, and ready for work. But the work he has in mind is not what the trees expected. The moment the axe is whole, the woodman turns to the very trees that granted his request. He swings the axe, and the sharp blade bites deep into the trunk of a magnificent oak. The sound echoes through the forest. One by one, he begins to fell the noblest, strongest trees, the very ones who thought his request was so small and harmless. As the giants of the forest begin to crash to the ground, a wave of realization and horror spreads among the remaining trees. They whisper to each other in a panic, their leaves trembling not from the wind, but from regret. "What have we done?" they cry. "We are being destroyed, and it's our own fault." One ancient tree, its bark scarred by time, groans. "That small gift we gave has cost us everything. We gave away the ash thinking it was insignificant. We didn't protect the smallest among us, and now we all pay the price. If we had stood together, if we hadn't sacrificed the rights of that one small sapling, we could have stood here for 1,000 more years. But it was too late." The woodman's axe, empowered by their own gift, continued its work, and the once thriving forest fell silent. This story isn't just about trees and an axe, is it? It's a powerful metaphor for our own lives, for our communities, and for our societies. How often do we give up something small, thinking it won't matter? A small compromise on our values, a minor concession in a negotiation, ignoring a small injustice because it doesn't affect us directly. We think, it's just one little thing, what harm can it do? But this fable teaches us that small concessions can have devastating consequences. The axe head represents a problem or a threat that is initially powerless. The handle is the little bit of power we give it. It could be our silence, our complacency, or our willingness to sacrifice a principle for the sake of convenience or to avoid a small conflict. Once we provide that handle, that small bit of leverage, the problem is no longer powerless. It can then be used against us and against the very things we hold dear. The story highlights the danger of not seeing the bigger picture. The trees saw only a request for a small piece of wood. They didn't see the woodman's ultimate intention. It's also a profound lesson about unity and protecting the vulnerable. The big trees didn't think twice about sacrificing the young ash sapling. They saw it as expendable. But by failing to protect the weakest member of their community, they sealed their own fate. When we allow the rights of any single group or individual to be chipped away, we weaken the foundation for everyone. The principle of an injury to one is an injury to all is at the heart of this fable. So, what's the takeaway for us today? Be mindful of the small requests. Before you make a concession, ask yourself, what could this enable? What is the bigger picture here? And always stand up for the ash saplings in your life and in your community. Protecting the small, the weak, or the seemingly insignificant is not just an act of charity. It's an act of self-preservation. Our collective strength depends on it. Had the trees stood together from the start, the woodman would have walked away with a useless axe head, and the forest would still be standing today. Thanks for watching. I hope this story gives you something to think about. If you found this valuable, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories that make us think. See you in the next video.